Hello everybody, this is Words on the Word podcast and I'm your host, Joshua Perez. Kapag sinabi nating addiction or addict, the first thing that we think of is someone na lulong sa droga o sa ipinagbabawal na gamot. And certainly that is a sin, because being addicted to it kills. And that is certainly against the fifth commandment, which is thou shalt not kill. And speaking of this commandment, sa isip natin marahil, kayang-kaya natin sundin ang commandment na to because malayo naman siguro ang probability natin na pumatay o di kaya naman ay magdroga na kontra na rin sa kautosang ito. However, when we talk about addiction, it is more common than we thought. Hindi lang naman kasi ito tungkol sa droga or sa mga bagay na illegal. In fact, this perhaps is more common to the things that seem to be harmless or normal, and yet they kill. There are a lot of examples, but for this episode, I'd like to focus on this first, yung social media addiction. Personally, this is something that I've suffered from before, although sometimes nagkakaroon pa rin ako ng episodes na talagang napapababad sa screen, but significantly lesser naman compared noon. Now I have much more control on when to stop and how to reset my mind. But going back, yes, social media addiction is common. Seems to be harmless, but it kills. Worse, hindi lang katawan ang pinapatay nito, kundi pati na rin ang kaluluwa. To be clear, social media and the internet, in their nature, are not innately bad or evil. They are mere technological tools that have no moral accountability. So, nakadepende talaga yan sa gumagamit, kung sa mabuti ba o sa masama ito gagamitin. You might tell then na, yun pala naman, nakadepende pala sa gumagamit. Hindi ko naman ito ginagamit sa kasamaan o yung content naman na kinokonsume ko, hindi rin naman masama. Kaya anong masama? My point, tama naman. But here's the catch. Ano ba ang content na mabuti at ano ba ang content na masama? Personally, this is how I try to categorize things. The content is good when it provides you with learning. Pwedeng tungkol sa history, news, religion, even sa pabango, sa relo, sa gadgets, mathematics, science, sa art, sa spirituality, and the likes. They are good content. Meanwhile, ang trash content naman ay yung mga obviously contradicting Christian morals like outright violence, pointless sensual materials, religious blasphemies, fake news, and disinformation. Then there's what I call morally neutral content that can provide you with a good laugh. But listen up, itong morally neutral content na to, usually mga short-form videos, those that provide the flesh harmless satisfaction, so to speak, ang kadalasang nagdadala sa tao towards addiction. For example, may FB Reels itong fina-follow mong vlogger na nakakatawa. Then nung natapos na yung video, tamang scroll ka na. Tapos, madadaanan mo naman yung mga babasaging bote na may lamang kisses, tapos pinapahulog sa hagdan hanggang sa mabasag. Tapos yung naghihinuko at nagtatanggal ng ingrown nails. Tapos skibidi-skibidi na yung kasunod. And so it goes. In no time, marirealize mo na lang na 3 oras ka na palang nakahiga, nakababad sa phone, at nanonood ng mga walang kakwenta-kwentang bagay. This is what we call brain rot or brain rotting. Bakit? Kasi as you can identify naman, those contents are of low value and stop you from true cognitive activity. In Tagalog, sorry for the term, nakakabobo. And I experienced that, kaya ako nasasabi ngayon ang bagay na to. Ako personally, kapag nasimulan ko ang araw na nag-brain rot, apektado ng maghapon ko. Yung decisions ko, attention ko, at energy ko are largely directed to my cellphone. At kahit gusto ko nang tumigil, it is too hard for me because it feels like I'm already wired in. Yung result, sin of sloth, sin of pride, and even sin of lust because of all the contents na madadaanan mo. And these sins can kill you, your body and your spirit. So much for harmless, right? We consume these contents not simply because we voluntarily desire them, but because it gives us dopamine or the feel-good brain chemicals, kaya mahirap bitawan. Ironically though, when you zone out, these supposed feel-good brain chemicals is the same thing that, in one way or another, makes you realize how sad your day is going. You had hours and hours of no accomplishment, no growth, no real connection. Your connection is on your phone. not to your friends, not to yourself, and more saddening, not to your God. Kaya sa tuwing nangungumpisal ako, isa ito sa inihihingi ko ng tawad. Kasi at the end of the day, kung iisipin mo, we had the control naman sana, but there are times nga na we give into this false comfort that is addictive and at the same time, destructive. So now that I've explained how real a struggle this is, I'd also like to share how I'm getting through it and seem to be effective naman. Again, I am not yet perfect, but I am improving on this aspect of my life, so let me share. First of all, you must acknowledge this weakness if you have it. Acknowledge it before the Lord. Seek His grace, seek His help, and seek His mercy so that He may direct your life to His real gifts. Those that are beautiful, beneficial, and of love, and not confine yourself to that little rectangular screen. That is the first thing. Yung pangalawa, you must set a routine. And you have to remind yourself of that routine. Halimbawa, the moment that you wake up, magdasal ka, and then you allot 3 minutes of silence, and then fix your bed, and then you do a half minute of jumping jacks. No phones allowed, no checking of notifications, no checking of messages. I tell myself, if something is really, really important by that time, I'll receive a call. Then, you list all the things you have to accomplish for the day. Mag-set din ng alternative relaxation activities like reading or playing chess, basta hindi yung nakadikit yung mata sa screen. Then set ka lang siguro ng window time kung kailan ka pwedeng mag-scroll mindlessly sa social media. Siguro for checking updates lang din with friends and the pages that you follow. But I suggest you limit it to 30 minutes to an hour. All that is important to you or that is beneficial to you can be consumed within that time frame. Ako, I try to do it from 5:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. unless kailangan ko talagang buksan yung accounts ko. But still, I avoid scrolling my feed. Basta kung ano lang yung dapat kong tingnan, yun lang yung aking titingnan. And then, set a routine lang ulit at nighttime. Again, no social media allowed. Third, and this is important, you have to force yourself on these things. They will not be encouraging because they are not instantly gratifying. And they are not supposed to be. In fact, ang dahilan nga bakit hindi to satisfying compared to brain rotting is because most of the time, meaningful things are difficult to do. Sabi nga ni Jordan Peterson, no, you must do what is meaningful and not what is expedient. You gotta think of your difficult or your suffering. Do you want to suffer from abstaining instant gratification? Or do you want to suffer from being stripped of growth, worth, and capacities to function because of your addiction? Fourth, as cliche as this may sound, never give up. Hindi naman porke na-identify mo na yung problem at yung solution is magagawa mo na yan perfectly o masasabi mo na sa sarili mong hindi ka na mahuhulog dito. I bet you will. But that is fine. Ang mahalaga sa nagsisimula ay alam mo na kung paano babangon at saan pupunta. Ang mahalaga, mayroon ka ng direksyon. And if you just wonder why I had this topic as an episode on Words on the Word podcast, while it seems not really about theology or spirituality per se, it's because it has a lot to do with theology and spirituality per se. You see, when we spend most of our time with social media, it is social media that we worship. Kung saan natin inilalaan ng malaking bahagi ng ating oras o ng ating kamalayan dahil lang ito ang ginugusto natin, ito ang ating sinasamba. Sa halip na ilaan mo yung oras mo sa mga dapat mong gawin o sa pagtupad ng tungkulin sa trabaho o sa bahay, in which, by the way, are ways of worshiping and loving God, hinihigop na ito ng addiction natin sa screen. And if we're not going to do something about it, if we're not going to control it, it will be it to control us. Sa tuwing iniisip ko, ang hirap-hirap naman gawin ng pagkokontrol na ito. Ang hirap-hirap gawin naman ng abstinence na ito. Inaalala ko na lang ang mga martir at mga banal. Di hamak naman na mas mabibigat ang krus na kanilang binuhat, ang mga pasakit na kanilang ininda, alang-alang kay Kristo. So why can't I do the same? Why can't I sacrifice this little thing for the love of God? To end this episode, I'd like to share this prayer that I've composed whenever I catch myself leaning to this serpent-like temptation of social media. I pray this to reset my spirit and my mind, and I hope this will help you too. My Lord Jesus, O highest good, I come to you to deliver me from the distractions and vanities crowding my spirit at this very moment. I come to you to help me break free from the sins of sloth, lust, gluttony, and pride. I come to you to put me back in order of living my day according to your love. Send me your angels to protect me from lingering temptations, and grant me the grace to overcome false comfort by replacing it with the will to carry my cross. Mary, Mother of God, pray for me. Again, that's all for today. This is Joshua of Words on the Word podcast. Thank you for listening. Till next time. Bye bye.